Hello everyone. The next part, that is symptoms of the cholera disease caused by Vibrio cholerae. In the pathogenesis, we have discussed how exactly this organism causes the diarrheal condition, especially it produces the toxin known as cholera toxin, and this cholera toxin causes excess secretion of some electrolytes out of the epithelial cells. So along with those electrolytes, water is also released outside the body, outside the cell in the form of stool, and then some complications are observed. And those complications we are going to study those complications under the term symptoms. So what are the different symptoms of the cholera disease? First, that is, before studying the symptoms, you should know the incubation period. Incubation period means it is a time from infection until appearance of symptom. म्हणजे ऑर्गॅनिझम बॉडीमध्ये एंटर झाल्यापासून ते सिम्पटम दिसेपर्यंत जो ड्युरेशन असतो दॅट इज नोन ॲज इन्क्युबेशन पिरियड. अँड दिस ऑर्गॅनिझम इट हॅज व्हेरी लो incubation period. Very low, actually it is indicated as 2 to 5 days. Means symptoms may appear within 2 to 5 days. Infection झाल्यापासून 2 ते 5 दिवसांमध्ये सिम्पटम दिसायला लागतात. But sometimes symptoms may also appear within 12 hours of infection. Once the pathogen enters inside the cell, inside the body, that time within 12 hours sometimes symptoms are also observed. मग जो ड्युरेशन आहे तो ड्युरेशन थोडा फ्लक्च्युएटिंग आहे. मग कशावर डिपेंड असतं? इट डिपेंड्स अपॉन द नंबर ऑफ ऑर्गॅनिझम्स. इफ मल्टिप्लिसिटी ऑफ इन्फेक्शन, that is the number of infecting organism is quite high, that time the incubation period might be reduced. So minimum 12 hours, maximum 5 days. This is an incubation period for this cholera disease. Then what are the different symptoms? So after incubation period, म्हणजे एकदा symptoms दिसायला लागल्यानंतर हा जो disease आहे it can last for 4 to 6 days. symptom जेव्हापासून ऑर्गॅनिझम मल्टिप्लाय होतो. सिम्पटम कधी दिसतात? जेव्हा ऑर्गॅनिझम सक्सेसफुली एस्टॅब्लिश होतो, मल्टिप्लाय होतो, तेव्हा सिम्पटम दिसायला लागतात. तिथून पुढे 4 to 6 days लागतात हार्ट डिसीज कम्प्लिटली क्युअर व्हायला with or without treatment. First symptom, that is the painless watery diarrhea is observed. So cholera disease is characterized by diarrheal condition. Initial symptom is watery diarrhea because electrolytes are lost out of the cells and as well as water is lost. So that results into watery diarrhea. Diarrheal condition is followed by vomiting. So not only through diarrhea, through stool the water is lost, but water is also lost through the vomiting. Then the most important symptom, or that is a symptom which can highlight the cholera disease, is rice water appearance of the stool. Initially stool contains fecal matter. Initial means within first few hours of symptoms it shows it contains fecal matter. त्याच्यामध्ये fecal matter असतो, but later on the water along with electrolyte is lost out of the body, and that appearance of stool is called as a rice water appearance. Water which is left after washing the rice, that appearance is exactly found in the stool, and this is called as a rice water appearance. So initially stool contains fecal matter, but later on as body loses the fluids out of the body, so the appearance of stool becomes a rice water appearance. Okay. This condition it lasts for 4 to 6 days, and within 4 to 6 days large amount of fluid, body fluid is lost through the stool. So approximately in the last lecture मध्ये मी सांगितलं की 50%, but actually it is not 50%. पर्सनचं जेवढं वेट आहे त्याच्या डबल वेट मध्ये वॉटर लॉस होत असतं. So excess body fluid is lost out of the body. This is a prime symptom of this particular disease. Diarrheal condition continues and it results into the loss of water with a volume which is quite double to the weight of that particular person. So एवढं वॉटर आपल्या बॉडीमधून लॉस होत असतं, एस्पेशली वॉटर अलॉंग विथ द इलेक्ट्रोलाइट इज लॉस्ट. आणि मग वॉटर लॉस झाल्यामुळे काय होतं? डिहायड्रेशन होते. इलेक्ट्रोलाइट झाल्यामुळे काही कॉम्प्लिकेशन्स डेव्हलप होतात आणि त्यामुळे काही अदर सिम्पटम्स सुद्धा आपल्याला बघायला मिळतात. ओके, सो अदर सिम्पटम्स लाईक if suppose this outpouring of fluid means if the water in the stool is continuously lost, जर आपण त्याला प्रॉपर ट्रीटमेंट नाही दिली तर continuous this outpouring of fluid it may result into hypovolemic shock. It may cause hypovolemic shock. What does this hypovolemic shock means? हायपोव्हॉल्युमिक शॉक म्हणजे काय की ब्लड मधून ब्लड प्लाझ्मा लॉस होतो. ऑब्व्हियसली लॉस का होणार आहे? कारण बॉडी फ्लुइड लॉस होणार आहे कम्प्लीटली. बॉडीचं जेवढं वेट आहे त्या डबल फ्लुइड हे 4 to 6 डेज मध्ये लॉस होतं बॉडीमधून. त्यामुळे काय तर बॉडीमध्ये जे ब्लड आहे, ब्लड मध्ये जो ब्लड प्लाझ्मा आहे म्हणजे आपण ज्याला म्हणतो ब्लड लिक्विड जे आहे, दॅट लिक्विड इज ऑल्सो लॉस्ट अँड दॅट कंडिशन इज कॉल्ड ॲज हायपोव्हॉल्युमिक शॉक. सो व्हॉट इज हायपोव्हॉल्युमिक शॉक? इट इज a reduction in the blood plasma. This reduction of blood plasma results into accumulation of excess RBCs. कारण ब्लड मध्ये आरबीसी आणि जो प्लाझ्मा यांचा एक रेशिओ असतो, कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन हे प्रॉपर मेंटेन केलेलं असतं. पण आता काय झालेलं की वॉटर लॉस झालं, त्यामुळे आता ब्लड मध्ये एक्सेस कोण होणार? आरबीसीज एक्सेस होतं. अँड दिस कंडिशन इज कॉल्ड ॲज हिमो कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन. सो excess outpouring of fluid leads to hypovolemic shock. That means loss of blood plasma. Loss of blood plasma results into excess accumulation of RBCs and that condition is called as hemoconcentration. Hemoconcentration. Then there is another symptom that is known as hypokalemia. Hypokalemia is characterized by excess loss of potassium. कारण इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स मध्ये सोडियम आयन्स असतात, पोटॅशियम आयन्स असतात, क्लोराइड आयन्स असतात, बायकार्बोनेट सुद्धा असतात. सो एक्सेस लॉस ऑफ पोटॅशियम कॉजेस हायपोकॅलेमिया बिकॉज पोटॅशियम आयन्स आर नीडेड फॉर मल्टिपल ऍक्टिव्हिटीज. सोडियम पोटॅशियम चॅनेल, कॅल्शियम पोटॅशियम चॅनेल किंवा काही आयन्स जे आहेत त्यांच्या सिम्पोर्ट आणि अँटीपोर्ट मेकॅनिझम मध्ये पोटॅशियमचा मेजर रोल असतो. म्हणजे काही न्यूट्रिएंट्स एक्सचेंज करण्यासाठी रिस्पॉन्सिबल असतात. त्या व्यतिरिक्त पोटॅशियमचा सुद्धा बॉडीमध्ये इलेक्ट्रोलाइट सॉलिड कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन मध्ये मेंटेन करण्यासाठी रिस्पॉन्सिबल असतो पोटॅशियम आयन्स. कार्डियक ऍक्टिव्हिटीज मध्ये पोटॅशियम आयन्स रिस्पॉन्सिबल असतो. सो अल्टिमेटली द लॉस ऑफ एक्सेस लॉस ऑफ पोटॅशियम रिझल्ट्स इन टू हायपोकॅलेमिया. आणि हायपोकॅलेमिया म्हणजेच काय की जेव्हा पोटॅशियम एक्सेस मध्ये लॉस होतो त्यावेळी पुन्हा मल्टिपल ऍक्टिव्हिटीज अफेक्ट होत असतात. एक्झाम्पल कार्डियक ऍक्टिव्हिटीज अफेक्टेड, एक्सचेंज ऑफ न्यूट्रिएंट्स, एक्सचेंज ऑफ आयन्स are also affected because of the less concentration of potassium and that is called as hypokalemia. So this excess outpouring of fluid leads to hypovolemic shock. It also leads to hemoconcentration, then hypokalemia. Beside this, it may also cause some other symptoms. हे झाले common symptoms diarrhea म्हणजे cholera disease चे. Diarrhea, vomiting, rice water appearance and these are hypovolemic shock, hemoconcentration and hypokalemia. Some other unusual symptoms are also observed. जर continuous diarrheal condition राहिली आणि especially suppose if it is left untreated, then some other symptoms might also be observed like muscular cramps. Muscular cramps, then renal failure, kidney failure. Kidney fails to perform normally and that is a renal failure. Then pulmonary edema. Pulmonary edema, it is characterized by excess fluid in the lung. Excess fluid in the lung. So muscular cramps are developed in the muscle. Kidney failure is observed. Excess fluid accumulates in the lungs. आणि मग माहिती आपण याच्यापूर्वी जो पॅथोजन स्टडी केला स्ट्रेप्टोकोकस न्यूमोनी, इन दॅट वी हॅव स्टडीड दॅट इफ सपोज एक्सेस फ्लुइड accumulates in the lungs, especially in the alveoli, that results into difficulty in breathing. So pulmonary edema means excess fluid in the lungs that may cause difficulty in the breathing. Then cardiac arrhythmia. Cardiac arrhythmia means improper or unusual rhythm of heart is observed. That is because of less electrolytes. जेव्हा इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्सचं कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन कमी होतं त्यावेळी कार्डियक ऍक्टिव्हिटी सुद्धा लॉस म्हणजे अफेक्ट होत असते. जसं मी म्हटलं की हायपोकॅलेमिया, पोटॅशियम कमी झाला, कार्डियक ऍक्टिव्हिटी कमी होते, कॅल्शियम कमी झाला की कार्डियक ऍक्टिव्हिटी अफेक्ट होत असते म्हणजे हार्ट ऍक्टिव्हिटी. सो कार्डियक अरिथमिया इज ऑब्झर्व्ड. इट इज बिकॉज ऑफ द लॉस ऑफ एक्सेस इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स. अँड फायनली वन मोर सिम्पटम दॅट इज पॅरालायटिक इलियस. Paralytic ileus, it is caused because of the blockage of intestine. In the later stages of cholera काय होतं की intestine block व्हायला लागतं. intestinal blockage झाल्यामुळे it becomes difficult to pass the stool or fecal material, and that is called as paralytic ileus. That is blockage of intestine. So these are certain symptoms of the disease cholera. Okay. After symptoms, let's talk about the next part, that is the mode of transmission. Transmission of cholera disease. It is very simple, and we can easily guess that it is transmitted, or it will be transmitted through contaminated food and water. So transmission occurs through two ways. Transmission of cholera, it occurs through two ways, and these two ways are: first, direct transmission. Direct transmission. Second one, that is indirect transmission. Indirect transmission. So transmission occurs through two ways, two routes: direct transmission and then indirect transmission. Direct transmission is characterized by transmission through the patient itself. जो पेशंट आहे त्या पेशंट कडून जेव्हा ट्रान्समिशन होतं, डायरेक्टली पेशंट कडून ट्रान्समिशन होतं, त्याला म्हणायचं डायरेक्ट ट्रान्समिशन. आपण असं म्हणू शकतो पेशंट मीडिएटेड ट्रान्समिशन. ओके. इनडायरेक्ट मध्ये काय, इथं पेशंटचा डायरेक्ट रोल नसतो, इनडायरेक्टली इथं कॉलरा डिसीज ट्रान्समिट होत असतो. सो डायरेक्ट ट्रान्समिशन कसं होतं, तर युजली वी नो दॅट दिस कंडिशन, दॅट इज डायरिया कंडिशन, इट इज responsible for loss of body fluid. Especially per day 20 to 30 liter stool is lost, feces is lost. 20 to 30 liter body fluid, let's call it as a stool per day. So 20 to 30 liter stool is lost per day. This stool or this feces contains approximately 10 raised to 8 to 10 raised to 9 cells of Vibrio cholerae per ml. So count the number of organisms. It is extremely large, extremely big number of organisms. Per ml of stool contains 10 raised to 8 to 10 raised to 9 number of organisms. And per day 20 to 30 liter of stool is lost. So that means the patient who is suffering from cholera releases large number of organisms. Hence, it is a direct mode of transmission. Okay. Besides this, some other utensils used by the patient, then clothes used by the patient, and other non-living objects, inanimate objects used by the patient may also transmit the organism. So directly patient transmits through the stool, or it may transmit through the utensils used by the patient, or any other non-living object including clothes by the patient can be responsible for transmission of cholera disease. Okay, so this is a direct mode of transmission. Indirect means here the patient do not have direct role. Patient directly the organism release करत नाही किंवा responsible नसतो transmission साठी. मग इनडायरेक्टली म्हणजे काय, तर वॉट एव्हर feces released by the patient, it causes contamination. So fecally contaminated water, fecally contaminated water or food, fecally contaminated water or food may transmit the pathogen. Here the pathogen from water, from food, especially contaminated food, it may have access inside the healthy person, and मग तो अशा पद्धतीने हेल्दी पर्सन मध्ये तो जो पॅथोजन आहे तो पॅथोजन एंटर होऊ शकतो. कशातून, तर फिकली कंटॅमिनेटेड वॉटर मधून आणि फिकली कंटॅमिनेटेड फूड मधून. ओके. अजून एक महत्त्वाचं म्हणजे काय, इंजेक्शन ऑफ सी फूड, इंजेक्शन ऑफ सी फूड. सो अनकुक्ड और अंडरकुक्ड seafood may transmit the organism, because Vibrio cholerae is commonly found in the marine environment. So ingestion of undercooked, improper cooked seafood may transmit the organism in large number, especially jellyfish, is responsible for carrying the organisms. So these are the two ways of transmission: direct transmission and indirect transmission. Okay, thank you.